Good evening, guys. I welcome you on this live session. Today, we're gonna talk about Mahashivrati and Shivratri. There is also someone who is going to join me today in this session. Ritaja, he's a very good friend of mine. We have an interesting conversation on this topic, share our views and our little knowledge on this subject. So, yeah, Ritaja, glad to have you here. Please introduce
Hi
yourself.
Pranay, thank you and good evening. So let's get started with our very topic Shivratri versus Mahashivratri.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts and experience on Mahashivratri? How did you spend your Mahashivratri this year? Tell me about it.
Right. Let's see. I have read somewhere that Shivratri is the darkest night of a lunar month, and there are almost 12 to 13 Shivratris in a year. However, the darkest Shivratri, I mean, the darkest night of the year, which falls on a particular day in March or February, like this year it was on the 1st of March, is Mahashivratri. uh, I don't celebrate Mahashivratri, but I've seen my grandmother when she was alive. She used to pour water on Shivji's Shivlinga, and then she used to fast the entire day. So that's how I do. I mean, that's how I know and I got to know about Shivratri. How about you? What do you do? Do you fast or something?
Honestly, uh, my mom did. She still do. My grandmother, they all used to do. Like I'm come from a very religious and spiritual family. Oh, they do all of that stuff. I literally don't know why do they do all those things. Since I was kid, I had no idea what Shivratri was. Like I didn't even know that there was more than one Shivratri. Like we have Shivratri every month. Actually, we have 12 Shivratris in a year. I think 12 or 13, and one Mahashivratri. Right.
Right. So, do you fast and all? I mean, this year when you came to know about Shivratri, did you fast?
No, no, no. I was in college. The thing is, I don't understand actually the concept behind fasting. Why we usually do that. So, other than that, I can't stay empty stomach for so long. I like I need to have something every say 1 hour. I can't like if even if I need to have a chocolate, I think what can I get? I will just have anything I want. So I can't even stay. Sometimes we also have to maintain some things like forget about fasting. That's another topic. Like it's a big thing. Fasting is a very big thing. But I would say like, sometimes you have to say you can't eat this particular stuff. Like in Hinduism, there are we celebrate so many festivals. So we also come across some festivals where we have to maintain a few disciplines, if you may say. We practice while we are practicing those spiritual rituals. We need to like have some foods. Like you can only have these kinds of foods. You can't have something else. Forget. I can't even follow that. So fasting is something else. Not possible for me.
Yeah, well, for you, for me, we love eating, so fasting is not a question at all. But one of our friends, Vedant, he fasts the entire day for Shivratri, and then he stays awake the entire night before for Jagran and all. He actually celebrates Shivratri with utter devotion, and he fasts, and he didn't even drink water this year. I mean, it was so hot.
Yeah.
He stayed without water. That was like awesome. So,
It's
what
quite
are your thoughts on it? Like, how can you do it if you're
it's
asked to
not,
do
no,
it?
no, no. I just told you now, like fasting is something that I don't think I can even do that. Like in India, I think in India, or rather I say in Hinduism, even during your wedding day, you have to fast, right? There is some ritual like that. I don't think I can do that even. So, and that's one day in your life, right? So, Shivratri, Mahashivratri comes every year. Forget about Mahashivratri. I can't do that. But it's very interesting that I didn't know that he would do that. Like he would fast. I didn't know that we that I only thing I used to see that only my parents used to do that. I used to picture that only elder people practice such rituals. I didn't know that
Right.
मतलब बच्चे भी करते होंगे मतलब आई कंसिडर बच्चे भी मुझे आई एम अ बच्चा सो क्या वेदांत भी करता है मेरे को पता नहीं था तो I I saw him in college actually that day like and I didn't know like later at night I got to know that he didn't had a glass of water even that day and he stayed awake all night so and that's quite a difficult task to do
And then he went to college.
and yeah that's the thing right like I can't even think about it like for me if I think about fasting for a day probably I'm going to drop all my tasks and all probably I'm going to say to my professors sorry sir I'm not going to able to submit my assignments for the next day so
Right, right. Like if I have to fast, I'm going to sleep the entire day and then get up when I get food. So
yeah
that's what it is. And
so
moreover, like as we are a part of the Utsav application, so now we get. I mean, now I have grown some faith on all these rituals and all these pujas and all. Before that, I didn't know what it was and I didn't have faith on it at all. So, what about you? Like, is Utsav helping you bring faith in?
yeah, sure. Like, see, I didn't even know what Shivratri or Mahashivratri was. It was just an occasion for me. Like, I just knew that okay, this particular day, my mom is going to fast, and that's why. And maybe we need to have some veg or something that day. We can't have something else. But the thing is, if you see, we kids, the age group between 20 to 30 we usually celebrate few festivals and our way of looking at celebrations are very different from there right
Right.
we are for हम पूरे मस्तीखोर लोग हैं ना हमको मस्ती चाहिए so if you look at the Utsav app and you see so many people who are celebrating I've seen so many videos where people are going to mandir and pouring milk on top and it's you see so many like if I didn't have that thing like if I didn't have that application if I didn't open it if I didn't see those things I would have never known that okay it's not only my mom but actually there are thousands of people not thousands lakhs actually all over the world who are doing the same rituals and I see people posting about it posting videos so beautiful it's so beautiful to see so many people communicating with each other they may be from different states but it's a beautiful platform.
Right. Well, Sadhguru has a saying, I mean, once said in an interview that we Indians find a festival or any other way of having fun and enjoying with all our family and friends. So we have 365 festivals and
Yeah,
more on I mean on all 365 days of a year. And I think Utsav plays a huge role in it because it brings and it tells people about all these festivals
yeah. Like
and being
I would
part
have
of
never
it's not
known.
just
I would have never known about it. Like if I haven't been into like if I didn't have that application installed, if I didn't follow Utsav, then I would have never known. Okay, we have so many festivals. Even we have so many goddesses, right? And
right.
and even each and every god have different avatars, and we celebrate. It's like he even Sadhguru even mentioned that okay, we just need like one excuse more to celebrate
That's what
another,
I said.
right?
Yeah.
Which is it's very interesting, right? Yeah. So you see, we didn't like we celebrate Kali Puja, we celebrate Durga Puja, but you see, these two are the same goddess, but different avatars. And see, the way we celebrate is very different. Kali Puja is celebrated in a different way. Durga Puja is celebrated in a different way, and there are other avatars also. We are in West Bengal, so for us, these two things are very famous, right?
No,
We
actually, it's very famous in Kolkata. If you go
yeah,
outside of Kolkata, like Chandanagar, they have Jagadhatri Pujo as a huge, a
yeah.
huge festival, a much bigger festival than Kali Puja or Durga Puja.
So I haven't been outside West, matlab outside Kolkata. So I'm more familiar with this place only and the festivals that we usually celebrate over here. But yeah, you are right. But you see, I'm particularly talking about this one particular god, and we have so many different avatars, and we celebrate all these things in different days. We have different festivals for each and every avatars, right? And
Right.
I would have never known about all these avatars and their role. Why do we celebrate those? There are basically reasons why we do celebrate Shivratri, why we celebrate Mahashivratri, right? Why? There are reasons, there are spiritual significances, so many things. So if I hadn't connected myself with
Utsav.
Utsav app, I would have never known about all of that. Like obviously, like it's not a subject in engineering, right? So we have
No,
never
not at
known.
all. And we as engineers, we really need some amount of fun and enjoyment. So Utsav gives us that, right?
Yeah, like the thing is, another thing. Do you? What are your thoughts on spiritual practices, meditation? Have you ever thought of doing something like spiritual? Do you think that you should meditate? Do you practice meditation basically?
Meditation requires a lot of your energy. I mean, I won't say energy, but a lot of concentration. And in our past lives, we really don't have that much of time or energy to concentrate and all. So I wouldn't say I practice meditation, but if I would, it would be much better. Like my day to day life would be much easier than it is right now. I'd be able to handle more stuff altogether. But we are moving a lot, I mean, away from topic. So I would just ask you one question. Do you think there's any difference between Shivratri and Mahashivratri? Like, do you think there's a difference?
Yeah, there is a difference between Mahashivrati. Like, it's considered to be the darkest night of the year. Yeah, and it's the way, as much as I know, it's considered to be darkest night of the year, and it's also considered to be like, you know we have the high spiritual energy at it. Like our earth is positioned in such a way that we have our the spiritual energy of human beings is at its peak. So it's very significant for each and every spiritual, like people who practice spiritualities and all. They should, for them it's very important, it's very significant. And the reason behind why I asked you about meditation and all, it's considered that at this particular day, like in this particular Mahashivratri day, Shiv uh, uh, completely transformed into the mountain Kailash. Like he was still, like he was not even like still, like he was not even moving, like not moving, like obviously you don't move when you are meditating, but like,
Like he was totally calm
yeah,
and
calm, not
composed,
not only calm, but you won't even consider that person is he's
alive,
still
or
alive, right? It's like just a mountain, it's like a statue. He was like that. And it's also being said that you only reach that place once you have crossed a level of meditation and yeah, practice that much of spirituality. And he's known as a god. Like he's being say worshipped by lots of yogic people, who practice yoga. They consider him a very maybe a motivating thing. That maybe that might be the word I'm looking for.
Well, I was reading somewhere and they said that, I mean, as you said, that everyone's at their spiritual peak at this point of time. So, they one of the fundamental reasons it's a night-long festival is that uh, they ensure that everyone who is preaching to Lord Shiva stays awake the entire night and with their spine upright. So that's how, as you said, Shivji was sitting as a statue. So his spine was upright, and to honor that, people do that. People celebrate Mahashivratri and the night-long festivities and everything.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's also one of the key things when you are meditating, right? You need to keep your spine up, right? That's one of the things. You should actually. That's
You should.
good. But acha, I have another question. Not question, but your thoughts. I would say, like, you see, Diwali is festival of lights, right?
Hmm.
Durga Puja, if you go, if you like, I particularly love this particular festival. You know, I am from Kolkata, so obviously, so even in that day also, we don't, nobody sleeps. Okay, in that particular day, nobody is sleeping at night. In Durga Puja also, it's also like a festival of lights. You won't see the streets, like you will always see all the streets are lit up. It's a day actually. Basically, seems like a day. So Shivratri is the darkest night, right? It's considered to be the darkest night of the month, right?
Right.
Why do people celebrate darkness? Whereas if I throw you in a dark room, probably you will be scared, right? People in our society are generally human beings consider darkness to be as a very negative thing, right? We don't consider darkness to be something something positive. We don't get motivated by such stuff. What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, like previously, you said that all these gods and goddesses have a lot of avatars, right?
Yeah.
So we know that Shivji, he is one of the lords of darknesses. He is all alongside it. He's calm and poised, and you know. So he brings light to the world when he's calm and poised, and when he's not angry, and when he's not doing thunder. So I think people pray to this darkness in so that they hope to bring a new ray of light into the world, a new day, a day filled with joy and happiness, and to I mean जैसे बोलता है ना कि पूरा अंधेरे को आई एम जस्ट नॉट गेटिंग द वर्ड्स लाइक अंधेरे को हटाने के लिए
हाँ
दूर
हाँ हाँ,
करने के
समझ
लिए
रहे हैं।
पूजा करते हैं
हाँ,
एंड देन फॉर अ न्यू डे अ न्यू लाइफ सो आई थिंक दैट्स व्हाई दे सेलिब्रेट दिस
या
डार्कनेस
और एक चीज है देखना कि हम लोग जब भी मतलब डार्कनेस के काले मतलब डार्कनेस की बात करते हैं तो तभी काला जादू का कॉन्सेप्ट भी आता है लाइक यू माइट नो दैट अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल हु वर्शिप लाइक काली माँ they practice something like tantric and all, like you must have heard of that word, right? So
राइट
the thing is, like I kind of have a lot of opinions on this kala jadoo wala stuff.
ओके
So basically, you have any questions for me, Ritija, or any thoughts you wanna ask?
not like question, but I was like asking you what are your thoughts and views on Shivji, like as a whole. Like I was telling you other day about Mr. Shiv, so that's what I'm asking. So how about what do you think about him?
Uh, for me, see, I do come from a spiritual family, but I don't actually, worship any particular god or something. So I don't have any much question let's say much queries on this particular thing, like, or anything. I don't have any particular opinion even on this anything. But one thing is for sure, Shiv is known as the destroyer, right? He's considered to be very angry and all, right? uh, One thing, people worship Shiv for different reasons. right? In during Mahashivratri, few people go there worship him because you know, like the other day you were talking about that people worship like girls worship them because they want to have a good husband like him, right? You were talking about that. There are other ambitious the people who are having ambition. They want their wishes to be filled, right? So my thoughts on that would be I would like if he fills all my wishes, right? That's the only thing I would say. And I don't have any other opinion or any particular
You
views
don't
on
have
that.
any thoughts about Mr. Shiv, or
Yeah,
you
that's
don't
the
know
thing.
anything
Like,
about him.
the thing is, I don't. Each and every god, they, they are very different. Obviously, you can't, think from a human perspective. All they did, they were very matlab, they were reacting to that particular situation, you see. So even Shiv is considered to be angry and all. No, even God, all those devtas, they even don't want that Shiv to get angry and all, right? They don't want that. But if you see other part also, last day I was talking about Bhagwan Parashuram. He also have that thing, right? You see, in Bhagwan Parashuram is considered to be like the the another avatar of Bhagwan Vishnu, but he used to be angry too. So I don't have any particular.
Right. So no, actually, I have some other thoughts about Mr. Shiv, because I have heard, like as you said, that people pray to him for a husband like him. So I don't think that girls will want some husband who is angry all the time, or he is doing tandav all the time, is smoking weed or drinking something. So I think that Shiv is both of us, which is calm, poised, and also this part also. So well, so lastly, I just want to know what is the difference between Shivratri and Mahashivratri according to you.
I see it as like I don't know the deeper part of it. Like the only difference I can say is Shivratri is being celebrated every month, right? Mahashivratri is being celebrated once a year, and it's the in Shivratri it's the 14th day, like you said before. It's the 14th day of every lunar month. Okay, it's again called to be the darkest night. Also during Shivratri is also one of the dark. It's also the darkest night.
Mahashivratri is one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah. No, no. I'm just talking about the darkest night. So, among all the Shivratris, I think Mahashivrati. I think that's considered, I think, the darkest one, right? But
Right.
Shivratri, it happens every month. That's one thing. But there are different spiritual significance of this, but of Mahashivratri, right? Just like I said that uh, your spiritual energy is at its peak. So
Right.
it's very important for those people who practice rituals and there's so many spiritual practices. I think it's a it's a very important day for them to connect with God or Shiv, right?
Right. Well, thank you, Pranay, for all your thoughts on Shivratri and Mahashivratri. It was really a great conversation that we had. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah, love to have you over here.